Hello there, my name is Bo and I run this YouTube channel here called BoBeats. It's a channel about synthesizers and music production, and I am currently building a new home studio. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, you might be asking, why Bo? You already have a great studio, and all will be revealed in today's video. But first, I want to start with a bit of backstory for the new viewers, because otherwise none of this will make any sense. Back in 2020, during the pandemic, I had to move my home studio out of the house. It's been a great space, but as you can see here, it's really crowded. My room is actually not that small, but let me just show you why I need more space. Yeah, it's getting a little bit cramped. So I built a professional studio. Just got the keys to the new studio space. There's a ton of work to be done here. There's a massive, of course, reverb. It's a very big space. And building this studio was a lifelong dream of mine. I think I'm not alone having this dream of just having your own dedicated space for your music, and yeah, I don't know, it's just something I really wanted to do. Now the studio has served me well, don't get me wrong. I'm privileged to have it. However, it has not been as good as I hoped it to be. So basically, I decided when we bought this new house that I would build a new home studio. We in fact bought this particular house because there was space for it. So today I just want to show you all the progress we've made, turning basically a storage room into this big nice room that we're eventually gonna turn into a nice creative space. But it's a lot more work than we thought. Yeah, we're doing it ourselves. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's not gone terrible so far, but yeah, let me just show you. So this is week one of tearing everything down here. These are 4 different storage units, and we're just gonna tear down all the walls. And in here is the old workshop. We got to inherit a lot of stuff from the old owners. Over here was an old space for fixing up pots and plants. Welcome to the studio renovations. Here's the main room. Eventually it's gonna become this big open space, about 25 square or 30 square meters. Currently I'm just taking down the old workbench that was over there. And yeah, we need some saws to do that, and a crowbar. So after a lot of work, especially for somebody like me who isn't like particularly handy, I don't remember the last time I ever like built something, but yeah, this is what the space looks like. We're finally ready to start like working for real on the studio. So one thing that we definitely need to do is remove this beam here, the support beam, and just put something across here and put another support beam somewhere around there. We're gonna seal up that window, probably build another wall there. That's like the weak point, this wall. And I really needed to show you all this, my super janky studio setup. So now we have to fast forward a couple of weeks, because I didn't really do much with the studio. I've had other things to deal with. And frankly, it's been more work than I had anticipated, and a bit more anxiety as well. There's so many things that you don't consider when you're getting into a project like this. But this week it's thankfully moving forward. Carpenters are here. They're putting in this iron thing that is supposed to keep the roof from falling on top of me when I'm making music. So with the new iron support beam that's running across here, the room just feels a lot bigger. Yeah, there's just a much nicer flow and feel to the room. And as you can see on all the walls here, we're gonna put up another layer of drywall. It's just regular drywall. It will help a little bit with isolation, but it's mostly because The walls here are pretty banged up. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure somebody's asking right now in the comments, how isolated is this place of yours? So firstly, this is not a room within a room. It's not a floating construction. And there's a couple of reasons why. The biggest one is cost. I save a ton of money by just using the room as is with some additional isolation. Secondly, it already is pretty isolated because there's stone walls on the outside. So I have a little beat running here, and I don't think that the microphone is picking it up. I mean, it's loud enough that it kind of hurts my ears. So let's go outside. And now I'm standing in my backyard in here. A little bit of the bass frequencies still coming through the window there. So here in my kitchen, I can barely hear the music. But most importantly is, of course, how much sound can you hear outside of the studio? And, well, I'm not sure if you can pick up anything. There's like a river over there and a dam, and it's super noisy. So overall, the isolation is already really good. So the carpenters have been here for a week, and just seeing the space now gives me a lot of hope for the future. I think it's starting to look really nice. Like, of course, you need to use your imagination. We're gonna paint the walls. We need to put a new floor. We're gonna paint the doors over there. I don't like this very heavy brown. I'm gonna paint the ceiling. Gonna fix it up because it's still a bit of a mess. Put in new electricity, but yeah, as you can see, it's really shaping up to be a nice studio space. And yeah, I'm just kind of looking forward to keep working at it and finishing it up sometime, probably late this year or early next year, depending on how smooth things go. I think that any creative can relate to having like the idea up here and then talking to everybody about that idea, and you know, nobody really understands what you're talking about because it's all up here. So I've made a 3D render of the studio so you know where we're heading. The app that I'm using is called Room Planner. It's very basic, but it's also nice. You can actually scan a room. So here you can see, here's the 2D render. So pressing the 3D button, we can see here that this is what the space will look like. And no, the panels won't be brown, they will be gray. And you see the boxes back here, those are actually shelves, IKEA shelves, that I just put there to simulate like bass traps in the corners. Give you an idea. No, I won't have a piano. It's just kind of a, I don't know, a little placeholder for a synthesizer. And no, I won't have these like floor stand speakers. They are also placeholders, and I find that making a 3D sketch like this is super helpful to get an idea of what the space will look like and how you can furniture it. I really want like this main desk over here and then a secondary desk that I can just have stuff out on whenever I'm working on a review, for example. Maybe some synths over here, maybe the U-rack here instead of the piano. Just imagine a warm summer day, you know, you've been working here in the studio, just go out here. It's not supposed to be this messy, but go out here, yeah, sit down here, minus all the junk, sit down here, have a nice cold beverage in the pergola and just look out across your mansion grounds and sipping that coffee. So I have to be honest and say that I've had a lot of anxiety around this whole project. Firstly, I am not a handyman. I'm not good at building stuff. But funny enough, I'm pretty good at tearing stuff down. That was actually a lot of fun, but that also doesn't require a lot of skill. You can just brute force it. But yeah, it has been a project that has evolved over time. And today I think I've actually made a decision. I'm probably picking up the phone today or tomorrow and terminating the lease for my other studio space. I think I'm locked in for about 6 months at the other space, so that gives me a lot of time to finish things up here and also move the gear and also get rid of some stuff because the other space is larger, so I'll have to get rid of some stuff, some synths, but also just some furniture that I won't be needing in this space. But overall, I think seeing the space like this, yeah, gives me hope that this can really work. So yeah.